So now that we know what a marking scheme looks like, let's have a look at an example assignment and how you would grade that assignment. So you just scroll down and I want you to click on National 5 Physics Assignment Candidate 2, the light bulb. And that will open into a tab for you which shows you somebody else's report. Now, this is available on the SQA website. There's several other example reports. They never get full marks. They are almost very average, but the idea is to let you see where marks are lost and where marks are gained. It's worthwhile as well as clicking on the marking scheme and having that open so you can check what you have to do to get the marks. So this project, the aim is to investigate what happens to the resistance of a lamp when the voltage connected across it increases. So in their aim, they've stated what they want to investigate. The aim is worth 1 mark. I would say there that they've clearly let the marker know what they're setting out to do. I would give them 1. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be a straightforward, brief example of what you're going to investigate. Underlying physics. So if we have a look through the report, we can see that they go on to talk about George Ohm. He's a German physicist, which is a bit of history. They explain that they used V equals IR, which is Ohm's law, and they have stated that a current flows when electrons move through a conductor like a wire. The electrons collide with atoms in the metal, and this becomes more difficult for the current to flow, causing resistance. And they've included a circuit diagram, ammeter, voltmeter, variable resistor. Now, when I read that through, have they shown that they understand what is going on? I would say they've shown limited understanding of the physics. Okay, they've talked about V equals IR. They've not actually explained what that means. They've not explained what resistance is. Resistance is the opposition of flow of electrons. They have listed who George Ohm was. That's a bit of history. You don't get a mark for including that. We're looking at you explaining your knowledge of physics. So if you go back to their aim, does the resistance of the bulb change? Yes, it does. Why does it change? Underlying physics, well, as you give more heat, which the light bulb will do as it gets hotter and brighter, that causes more resistance. Now, why does it do that? If you think about particles, they vibrate more when they have more energy. If they vibrate more, they are bumping into electrons more, and so on. You want to really demonstrate what you understand, which means going into the concept of voltage, current, and resistance and how they all act together. They have a table here. They took readings from 1 to 6 volts, which is fine. Let's have a look. What else have they done? They've not repeated or shown that they repeated their measurements. So they may not have actually taken them. We can't tell. The candidate also has presented their data with units and headings, voltmeters and volts, ammeter, milliamps, resistance in ohms. So would they get the mark there? I think they would get the mark, that's fine. If we look at their graph, okay, now the graph they've plotted without too many problems. It goes up 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is 1 per box, which is fine. They have units with labels. They have a straight line when it looks like a curve. Just going back to the results, you can see that they've not actually included any averages, which could deduct a mark as well. Now, when you look at the marking scheme, what we're looking for is appropriate repeat measurements. Okay, so they're going to lose a mark there. Back to the graph. Now, the graph itself I think is okay. This graph here, I looked at the following website, learnaboutelectronics.org. Is that a reliable site? Does the graph show a curve? It does. Their graph shows a straight line. So there's obviously something different there. And have they discussed that? They said it's not the same bulb, which is fine. It has a curve and not a straight line. So as you increase the voltage across a filament bulb, its resistance gets bigger, which isn't like a resistor. I could have made my experiment better by using a more accurate voltmeter, like the ammeter, reading milliamps, because then I would have the voltage nearest to 1/1000th of a volt. So they've sort of explained there why the readings are slightly off. Now, it's only 3 pages. All of the words added together would maybe give you 1 page. They've not gone into much depth. It's quite a basic report. What you can do is we can go back to our home page and click commentary. So this is the SQA's commentary on that report. So they got 1 out of 1 for their aim, 1 out of 3 for their underlying physics. They made no attempt to extend the description to possible temperature effects, which I mentioned previously. Extra heat means extra energy, means more vibration of particles. Their description was fine. They talked about how they set up the experiment, and I included a circuit diagram, which is good practice. Okay, so it doesn't have to be done, but it's good for the marker to see. They didn't have enough values. We did talk about that. They didn't have the values that they can create averages from. Each column in the candidates table had headings. That's fine. We seen they had volts, amps, and ohms. They correctly calculated a resistance using V equals IR. Their internet source was relevant. It did talk about electronics, and it was a bulb that the internet source had investigated. They only gave an abbreviated URL. What that means is they only gave one website homepage rather than the actual page. So if you just typed in your resource was Wikipedia, that would not get you the mark. You would need the exact page, the full website address. Their graph, 3 out of 4 marks. Okay, they had a scatter graph, they had linear scales, they had labelled it. However, they plotted 4 of the 5 points correct, but 1 point is not plotted correctly. Okay, one of these points here is not plotted accurately. Now you have to have them all correct to get full marks. So they lost a mark for accuracy. Their analysis, they stated that its resistance goes up when the voltage goes up, and that is what they found. That is true. The conclusion, they realised that the resistance of the lamp varied as the voltage varied, and this was confirmed in the internet source, so they did answer their aim, which is 1 out of 1. The evaluation, the factor identified by the candidate, an improvement in the accuracy of the voltmeter would not have a significant effect. Okay. You need to choose something which would make your experiment better rather than just saying use better equipment. The evaluation is something you need to think about and go some textbooks in your school notes to see how we improve the experiment. They lost a mark for their title. Okay, if we look at the title, there isn't one. So include a title to get an easy mark. Take time, read through their assignment, use this marking scheme, read the commentary from the SQA marker, and to decide what you would award the homework. Now that is pasted below into the links. Please take time, watch both these videos, use the documents, and I will look next week at the grade you decided each of the assignment should be awarded. Okay, thanks then.